Good afternoon, everyone. Gunneroo back here for another video. I just thought I'd record in my garage. I just came back from a walk. Really nice day. I think it's like 25 degrees in Melbourne. And I just wanted to quickly touch on Arsenal's loss or defeat, 2-0 defeat against Leicester at King Power Stadium. I'm not sure how this down. A bit closer. Okay. Yeah, so I just wanted to quickly touch on the performance. I thought the first half we were okay. They had a few chances. Vardy missed one straight out in front. And the second half, we came out of half time. I don't know if it was a team talk or whatever, but we had a good spell of 15, 20 minutes where we were looked dangerous on the counter attack. They hit the post as well. And then once they scored their goal, yeah, pretty much we had our heads down and capitulated. And we don't have that confidence, we don't have that belief to come back from being down. It's just not possible for us. And you could tell, I could even tell, Lacazette didn't even want to finish his chance. He had a one out chance, one on one with the keeper, and to go 1-0 up, and he didn't even score it. Like, yeah, Aubameyang was pulling, like, as a captain, pulling out of tackles at the halfway line. What sort of like role model are you being to all the other players? The only player that really could walk out with his head held high was Callum Chambers. I think he played really, really well, and then yeah, obviously capitulated with the goal. But up until then, he was really, really good. I think you can tell, like, literally rewatch that game, and you can see that they don't want to play for the manager. Fuck, sorry, sweating. They don't want to play for the manager. Yeah, and the only way to fix that is for him to go. Like, I would love for him to stay. I would love for it to work out, but they don't want to play for him. They're not putting in tackles. They're just like, it's like it's a chore for them. And they don't even want to win. They don't have a game plan. They don't have, like, how do you say it? There's no structure to what they're doing. They're just sort of lackadaisical, whatever. And yeah, it's painful to watch. I'm actually more than excited for the international break because I can't watch Arsenal like this. I'm not excited because there's no hunger, there's no passion. They don't when I know we go down and 1-0 and our heads drop, then there's no point in me even watching the game. They're not going to come back, and it's an absolute disgrace. And the only way this is going to be fixed is for a new manager to come in, because once a new manager comes in, they're going to want to work for him. Everyone's place is up for grabs again. So we know this. This happens in AFL a lot. You sack a new manager, and then there's a revitalization. And the only thing, and the only reason why I think the board are keeping Emery is because, so let's say if they have to sack him, it's costing them 6 mil, correct? Right? They're looking at it as in he's good for youth, right? Youth development. So he's been doing that. We're only 5th in the Premier League table. They're looking at it like that. They're also looking at us pretty much undefeated in the Europa League, top of the group, qualified to the next round, and he's a Europa League specialist. So they're thinking, oh, if we maintain his contract, see it out, we don't need to pay him off $6 million. He can win the Europa League or potentially make top 4, and then we save money. That's all it is, really. So, but in the end, I reckon it'll fall to bite us, because you can tell the players don't want to play for him anymore. So the only way that this isn't, like, the only chance we have right now to make Champions League is through the Europa League. I think if we were to make top 4, we need to sack him right now, because it's a results business and there's only 27 more games, correct? So we're running out of time. I know it sounds like a lot of games still, but we're running out of time. And yeah, what else do I want to touch on? One last thing, I want to touch on Granit Xhaka. I think my personal opinion, everyone will be against me, but I think he should be. He's one of our best midfielders at the moment. To be fair, like, he should, like, if he was available to play and none of this happened, he would be playing, because he is in our top 3 midfielders at the moment. Ceballos is injured. Willock is out of form. So yeah, and I think Guendouzi, ever since Xhaka's left, hasn't been the same. I think, especially as a young figure like that, having Xhaka next to him gives him the freedom to go forward a bit more. Now he's playing in a more defensive role, so he's not. We're not getting the best out of Guendouzi. So I think Xhaka. I don't know whether the team's not defeated and don't believe in Emery's tactics, or they're lacking a bit of leadership in the dressing room, because undoubtedly Xhaka brings that. So I think it's there's a lot of problems going on at the moment. And recently on Twitter, I think it was this morning, I think the board was giving Emery 100% backing till the end of the season. They're not believers of just sacking straight away, biting the bullet. I think I saw something else. Just quickly. Oh no, it's alright. Yeah, so they're pretty much backing him in. So I don't think they're going to get rid of him in the international break, but they probably should. So yeah, a lot going on. Hopefully, a lot of these issues are fixed by the time we go to Southampton at home. So thanks, guys.